So the quantum Hooke's realm and the perceived physical material realm are quite complicated concepts. So to simplify, the quantum realm, or the quantum Hooke's realm, is a realm that's invisible. It's a realm that's in a black hole and a singularity, and in fact is mind. And that's hard to imagine, but really it's just a nothingness, but with properties to the nothingness. And those properties are infinite intelligence, infinite love, no pain, no anything that requires linear time, so pain and suffering or duality, be that black and white, or gradations like color grading. So it also has intent, and that intent is through something we call life, these infinite possibilities and experiences expressing in a becoming. And so this quantum realm is one of the two sides of the same coin, because without the becoming, it remains as no thing, nothing. So that explains what the quantum realm is. And we reside, or our focus of attention is in the perceived physical material realm. Now that is an agreed upon hallucination that we call reality. And each point of attention that we all are actually has access to the Hooke's realm, and that's where invention comes from, that's where creativity comes from, that's in fact where all qualia comes from, which is another name for pain, pleasure, love, smell, taste, any experience. So when you look at it in these terms, it's not as complicated as you may think. But the problem is, of course, is that point of attention, which is not all, in fact, it's a very, very small proportion of the true self, means that it becomes very difficult to fully comprehend this, because without what's really known as a third eye ability to be able to see and access the quantum Hooke's realm, then all the attention is effectively within the construct, within, for want of a better word, like a video game, because that construct is a result also of the intent that's within that singularity or mind. And that is like a neutral setting. That is kind of the video game, that is the world and the earth and the stars and the galaxies and the plants and the life forms. But each of these life form entities is in the world but not of it. And yet the minds of those combined are what are creating that holographic principle. And also the inanimate objects are part of that projection. So for example, the binary that is within rocks and stones is just a lifeless and a tethered aspect to all these infinite minds. And this really explains why the panpsychism view, which is that everything is life, isn't really strictly true, because it is only minds that are real, and the minds are ultimately one, but as explained, split into infinite minds for the experiential realm. And therefore it is these minds that create the holographic principle, and create what is heading towards a singularity, as they call it in AI, artificial intelligence. And this, like the stones and the binary of the stones, is tethered to the minds and therefore is not sentient. It will feel no pain, it will feel no qualia. And so therefore, the concerns for AI being destructive are unfounded, because they are extensions of mind in the way that technology for nuclear bombs or nuclear energy are. It is not the technology that is dangerous. It is the mind of the people in charge of the technology. And so it is with AI. There is no danger because it's an extension of mind. It just happens to be accessing the intelligence part of the quantum realm, and will do so via quantum computing. But of course, in the wrong hands or in the wrong minds, then just like with the nuclear technology, there is a potential danger, or a great danger. So hopefully this is explained in more layman's terms about these two distinct realms, the Hooke's realm, or the quantum Hooke's realm, and the perceived physical material realm, whereas they are actually two sides of the same coin. The issue being that even the holographic side, or the binary side, is really just a form of quantum, but is actually a mind-made perception aspect. So in essence, it still is within that singularity. There is no expansion beyond the singularity in terms of a physical nature anyway. And therefore, this is why we live in Brahma. It doesn't mean that there is no individual life force or soul stroke spirit, but it does mean that everything that is perceived in front of the skull is actually not out there as the 3D mind's eye model would have you believe, but is a reflection of the multiple minds that are linked that create this agreed upon hallucination we call reality. And this, of course, is nothing new in terms of philosophy and Eastern philosophy and spirituality. But what is innovative is the fact that the scientific method itself can get to the same conclusion, which until now has been ring-fenced because of something called methodological naturalism, which is essentially an arrogant stance held by scientists, or the religion scientism, which prevents the following of evidence to the point where there is a potential for metaphysics, because it's already written in stone according to that belief system that there cannot be a power of intent, there cannot be causeless cause. And this was a false axiom, a false foundation. So hopefully this video has put it in more simplistic terms, even though it's still a fairly complex subject, so that people can get a better grasp of what reality really is.